Carl Jung said, "Awaken and shine your light for others to follow. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." This is an invitation to move differently in the world, to operate from a place of deep knowing and alignment. I'm Adrienne McDonald, and welcome to the Source Code Podcast. Let's dive in. Hello, beautiful humans, and welcome back. It's been a minute. I've been very busy over the past couple of weeks. We have wrapped up the election cycle, the latest election cycle here in the U.S., and I know not everyone is a U.S. listener, but I'm sure you were aware. And we had a lot of emotional intensity around that, so I was helping some people process. And I've been thinking about a question that my Celtic shamanism teacher brought into one of her recent circles. And I think her sister brought it up to her, or in one of her circles. So anyway, the question is, who am I uninterrupted? And one of the best ways you can work on deconditioning with your human design is being in your own energetic space alone. That means not around a lot of people, disconnecting from social media, etc. And I did that for several days over the past week, and to get away from the noise. It's like, who am I uninterrupted? And that brought up the Karpman Drama Triangle thoughts in my head. And I've spoken about the Drama Triangle on this podcast before. I usually speak about the Drama Triangle around the holidays because, people are going, their family, and sometimes that can get a little tense. And if you do not know, the Karpman Drama Triangle is a social model of human interaction often used in psychology and personal development to describe the dysfunctional roles that people can take in conflict. And there are 3 of those roles. And the first one is victim, where you feel powerless, helpless, or oppressed. And they often seek rescuers and tend to blame others or external circumstances for their predicament. And then you have the rescuer. And that role seeks to help or save the victim, often at their own expense. They may feel a sense of self-worth by being needed, but can inadvertently enable the victim's behavior. And then the third role on the triangle is the persecutor. The role exerts control and criticism or blame over others, and they may feel justified in their actions, but they're often perpetrating feelings of guilt or inadequacy in the victim. And the objective of everyone that is on the Drama Triangle is to try to get to that victim place, because these roles are very much in a cycle with individuals shifting between roles during interactions. The triangle it really leads to unhealthy dynamics in relationships unless the individuals step out of the role and adopt more constructive behavior. And what we're seeing, I think, in the world so much of this is people living on the Drama Triangle. And when I was reflecting on the question of who am I uninterrupted, it's the who am I when I'm not letting external circumstances invade me, right? Because staying off the Drama Triangle begins with self-awareness and taking radical responsibility for your role in any interaction. This is one of the reasons why I think that this concept should be mandatory training in any leadership development course, or really in most self-development courses. Because when you recognize that you're slipping into the role of victim or rescuer or persecutor, you can consciously step back and you can choose a more empowered behavior. And what I love about human design is it offers profound insights to support you in that endeavor by helping you align with your strategy, with your authority, to better navigate relationships more authentically. And when you honor your natural energy and your strengths, and you set clear boundaries, and you release the need to control and fix others, you, by default, foster healthier dynamics. And the key to all of this is self-trust, emotional regulation, and the ability to respond from a place of clarity and alignment rather than just reacting out from conditioned patterns or external pressure. To help others, like a rescuer, or even, judging people for not moving as fast as you do, like Persecutor. A more empowering strategy there is to stay in alignment by responding to only what truly lights you up. Like, that's going to help you avoid that burnout and that overcommitment. And a reflection could be, am I responding authentically, or am I acting out of guilt or obligation? Now, I'm manifesting generator. Now, your fast pace may lead to frustration with others, much like that's that generator part, right? That's that persecutor peeking out, or stepping in to fix things prematurely, the rescuer, or feeling like you're not appreciated for doing all this stuff. Again, victim, right? More empowered strategy there may be honoring your process and giving others space to catch up and stay focused on your path. And reflection, am I acting from frustration or am I staying in flow? And then projectors, that it's important for that waiting for recognition and invitation, right? So when not recognized, you may feel unseen and critical, that persecutor coming out, or overextend your guidance, that rescuer coming out to prove your value. But again, coming out with feeling underappreciated, that goes back into that victim role. So a more empowered strategy is that, again, waiting for that correct invitation, recognizing when to share your insights with people that have the capacity or want to hear them. Yeah. The reflection is, am I guiding where I'm invited, or am I forcing my insights? Am I forcing it? If you feel like you're forcing it, that's not where you're supposed to be. Manifestors, the initiators. Manifestors, you may feel like you need to dominate situations to assert control. And that's going to create conflict or pushing others into the victim role. And then you get frustrated, your lack of appreciation, or people not being able to get you and what you're trying to do. A more empowered strategy is, you got to be clear with your intentions and initiate things that are calling to you, not because they're expected. And focus on fostering collaboration versus exerting control. And your reflection is, am I inserting power to control, or am I leading from clarity and alignment, the highest expression of myself? And reflectors, you're the mirrors of the community, right? So your openness can make you feel deeply affected by the environment. And that can sometimes lead to a real sense of helplessness. So very much spend a lot more time in your own energy space, right? Using your cycles to gain clarity and avoid rushing into roles, because that's going to keep you on the drama triangle. You've got to recognize your role as a mirror, not as an absorber, right? So your reflection is, am I mirroring others' drama, or am I reflecting back wisdom? So let's talk about who am I uninterrupted through the lens of the current sun transit. And I think this is the perfect moment, because this question invites us into the wisdom of human design gate 34, or gene key 34. And those energies guide us towards reclaiming raw, innate power, because that's what gate 34 is. It's power. Not as something reactive or forceful, but as a sacred, aligned strength rooted in the highest expression of your authentic self. So gate 34 lives in the sacral center. So it is the energetic wellspring of vitality and creation. And it carries the archetype of pure, life-giving power. A power that is personal, like the word sovereignty comes to mind. It's unshaken by the noise of the outside world. When we operate from the shadow of gate 34, this energy can feel very reactive, driven by force, scattered by external demands. It's the power of, overcompensation, striving to prove something in the face of chaos. It's the screaming into the void. But when we align with the gift of 34, we access that strength that is calm and clear and unwavering. And it's a strength that honors our natural rhythm and flows from within. It is the unshakable part of power that can only come from within. And in its highest expression, the 34 embodies that ability to act in alignment with what you're here to be and what you're here to do, and be undeterred by distractions that are external. This isn't about doing, this is about being. And that's the big difference with this particular definition of power. And when you look at this from the lens of the gene keys, the shadow is force, a shadow state where your power becomes reactive, it's disconnected from purpose, it's that, struggle to reflect any meaning. I think the shadow reflects the struggle that many of us face in a world of constant noise. Like I saw this play out, especially over the past 2 weeks, so much. That pressure to respond, that pressure to act, that pressure to push without even considering pausing. But when we step into the gift of strength, we learn to channel our energy with more wisdom. And strength isn't just about resilience. It's about presence. It's about being. It's that quiet confidence that arises when we stop trying to force, to prove ourselves, to manipulate others into thinking the way we do because we need that validation. And it instead allows the actions to flow from our true nature. And the journey, the citic state of the 34 is Majesty. It's where power becomes effortless and radiant. And Majesty is not just about dominating the world, but harmonizing with it, acting from a place of pure, highest expression of alignment with our soul's truth. So, in a world that's very noise-driven right now, and I think election cycles are really a perfect example of how external forces can pull us out of our highest expression and get us into our shadows. So because there's the opinions and the debates and the heightened emotions that create this vortex of noise that challenges our ability to be grounded in who we are. That ability to stay grounded in who you are. Who are you uninterrupted? But gate 34 reminds us that true power isn't reactive, it's sacred. It doesn't come from the outside, it comes from within. So as you move forward, this is an invitation to reclaim those parts of yourself that may have felt scattered or overextended, and to return to that question: who am I uninterrupted? Who are you without the noise? So reconnecting with this somatic sacred power begins by stepping away from the distractions and tuning into your inner rhythm. And as one that has done that over the past week and a half or so, I do this on occasion anyway. The election just happens to be like the latest distraction, right? Think about using these practices to align with the wisdom of Gate 34. And it's the pause before acting, right? Take a moment to feel into whether your actions are aligned with your highest expression, or are they a reaction to external pressure? And I really take this one to heart because my vocation / core wound in the shadow of it in the Gene Keys and my Human Designs, my Design Mars, the shadow is reaction. So I've had a lot of practice with pressing that pause button. And that one, if I, to take one piece, if I only just took that piece out of my design and practiced it, I can tell you that has been incredibly life-changing. The second is connect with your body. Gate 34's power is very somatic, deeply somatic. Practices like breath work and movement or grounding can really help you tap into that solid inner strength. And third, journal on the question. Reflect on who am I uninterrupted. I found this to be incredibly insightful over the past couple of weeks, and some things that came up that were really unexpected for me. Like, who are you when you're not reacting to the world around you? So as you navigate the shifting dynamics of the world, let Gate 34, which we're going to be in for several more days, guide you back to yourself. Let its strength remind you that your power doesn't come from proving or forcing. It comes from being, from radiating out the highest expression of you. This is your opportunity to reclaim your essence, to realign with your natural design, and to stand quietly in the majesty of who you truly are. And the world's always going to be noisy, but the power of your own being is uninterrupted. And to help you with this further, if you haven't already, you can access your human design chart from my website, and you can also access my human design deconditioning guide. If you've not grabbed that, I would strongly suggest picking that up, because that will give you more ways to reclaim this inner strength. I will put the link to the free chart and also the link to the free human design deconditioning guide in the show notes so that you can find those links. As always, I appreciate you listening. I hope you found this insightful. Would love to hear what you think on social media. If you found this helpful, please share it out. And remember to find beauty every day and seek the magic in the mundane. Thank you for listening to the Source Code Podcast. If you found this episode insightful and feel moved to, please leave a review and share it out with those you believe will find it helpful. You can check out my website for more information at www.adrianmcdonald.com. And for more of my more regular musings, connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and LinkedIn. I hope you have a beautiful week.